well, not at some point my home life had to suffer a bit, and I had to have a discussion with my husband to say, in order for me to write this book, it takes time to write books. I'm having to write this book and still have a full-time job and take care of the children. I'm going to need you for this period to take a front seat with the family, and I'll do, I'll pick up when I come back. So
I like this. I'm going to say something about this now. I like what you just said, Bina. We look at the Proverbs 31 woman as a perfect woman. So in celebrating this International Women's Month, I did an expose on the Proverbs. It talked about everything, but maybe not everything working 100 at the same time. So you had to talk to your husband. Okay, you guys will just have to give me a break for a while. I need to focus on this. So it's not like you were 100 when you were writing the book. You were 100 when you were being a wife. You were 100 when you were being a mother. No. Some things have
but that's the expectation.
Something.
Something has to give, right? And that's why I asked the question. Yeah. But I loved where you ended it, and in how you talked about the support system, because that brings me to the next part of the conversation, which is it takes a village. Yeah. So yes, it's true. It takes a village. When they say it takes a village to raise a child, they weren't kidding. But now it takes a village just to live. So what when we start to come back to the context of these three women and context of friendships, what's the thought process around that support system? When we were talking earlier, you said, you've never had experiences or negative experiences. So that leads me to believe you've selectively built a support system or a network that you can trust. So just to give some thoughts around that, the fact that a support system is so important and how you can go about building one and leveraging one.
I think we are only as good as our support systems, to be honest. Sure. I think we are only, because we are one person. We are only as good as the support systems that we have as women. And the reason that I shared my perspective about my experiences with women is because I've had women who have supported me, who have encouraged me along the way, who have been so I've had that, and I have also been that person. It's not about just expecting people to be there for you. What are you being to people? And what the energy, sometimes the energy you give off, you attract. And so if you are helpful, if you are respectful, if you are kind, you tend to create a force field around you that attracts those types of things and those types of people. So it starts with you. Michael Jackson said, looking at the man in the mirror. So start with yourself. If each of us were to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be a better woman, I'm going to be a better person today, that ripple effect of each person making that decision makes all of us better people. And then we would interact with better people. So start with yourself, and then what you're demanding of others, demand from yourself first, because then you're setting a good example of what you're asking for, and then you can interrupt that person who says, we cannot have women who are good and who are supporting people.
So there's something that you talked about when you talked about living freely. Do you understand? Living freely with, envy and love can coexist. Do you truly believe that envy and love can coexist? Because when you talk about the energy you give off, my own energy, I said maybe I'm happy myself, but I thought I was good. Until whatever happened.
Well, that's not to say that bad things cannot come around you. I'm not saying in general.
I'm just trying to be sarcastic. But you see, the thing is, so what's your honest advice, right? Because it's one thing for you to really be optimistic and have faith in the what's it called, the possibility that we can truly be great together. But when you're dealing with someone that has loads of insecurity, and the person has not been able to rise above those insecurities, what's your honest advice? Let's look away from the book now. We're talking to ourselves as women. What's your honest advice? Do you continue to hold on to those relationships? Or, you probably give those people, like, you step aside and say, I think you need to grow. Then when you get to where you are supposed to get to, then we can now resume the relationship. What's your honest advice on that?
So the premise that you started with is you've tried to help the person. The person still can't overcome their insecurities. Well, I think relationships really should be symbiotic. If they're not symbiotic, that's where frustration sets in. Oh, I'm always calling you, I'm always being there for you, you're not being there for me. So if you are trying to help someone, you've done everything you can, and you're not feeling like you're getting the results that you want, you're not getting what you want from that relationship, I'm very loath to advise people, but I kind of feel like you need to take a decision for what's best for you in that relationship, because otherwise you're just going to be giving and not getting anything back.
Absolutely. Let's take some comments. Uti.
Okay, so I've got two. One is from Iyuri from Gombe. It says, good evening, ladies. A woman can be all, but it has to come in stages, because not everything can be okay at the same time. Some areas may suffer, but when you get to the next stage, you overcome. So that's pretty much in line with what we've talked about. And the next one is from Daniel Illo, our regular fan. He says, good evening, my dear beautiful sister of What Are You Saying ways. Women are a good, wonderful, and beautiful gift from God and will forever be. Sure, I agree. A woman can be a great friend, business icon, faithful wife, and honest human. Women do have a problem. Instead of complimenting one another, they decide to beef one another, which is very bad. God help them. And there's a comment for you, Owa. Says, Sister Owa, God bless you. You're really looking beautiful and lovely.
Oh, Lord have mercy, baby. Thank you. Okay, so let me take a comment, and Manny, you take yours.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies. Very interesting topic always. First of all, I think we are overemphasizing gender issue. We should rather treat humans as humans. When success was about muscle, men naturally dominated, but now it's all about brains. My take on this topic of the day: women, just like men, can be anything they want to be. I think that's why humans are referred to as beings. In that, we have the capability to be all and more. A woman can be all that is listed, depending on she alone. It starts with you. This is Usman from Gombe. Thank you so much for your comment. Manny, I think you have a comment.
Okay, just to comment on your comment. I think the reason we're talking about the woman is because we're still celebrating the
International Women's Month, yes.
Yeah, so that's why. So I have my comment from BC, and it says, good evening, ladies. I have really worked well with women as bosses and colleagues. I believe so much in women rights and empowerment, so I do encourage women to support fellow women. Have I been betrayed by my gender? Of course, but it hasn't stopped me talking about women all the way. I found out that when you make excuses why people behave the way they do, it helps to move along. Beautiful. It helps you to move along well. No matter how people pretend, how much people pretend, we all know we're not perfect as all humans. To be honest with you, I've had courses to detach myself from friends that have really hurt me. This doesn't mean I don't go out of my way to protect and speak for them when it's within my power to do so. Thanks and have a great weekend. BC, I think you have a wonderful heart, honestly. I was going to say that when you asked Bina the last question, you know, I think that, yes, sometimes some people, you know, we are in this cancel generation where when things are not working, you cancel. When this one is not working, you cancel. We can't continue to cancel. Sometimes God brings us, you know, into other people's lives to help them. If it says that iron sharpens iron, it means that in some areas I may be weak, and in those areas you may be strong, and in the areas where you're weak, I'm strong. We're supposed to sharpen each other. So to answer your question, I think sometimes it's not about discarding the friendship. Like BC just said, you may take a step back, you may take a break, not necessarily discarding.
No. So what I do with people like that, I just take a break.
Yeah.
Because you also sometimes, again, you need to get to that point where you truly appreciate what it is that you have.
Yeah.
Most people are not able to see it. But Binda came bearing gifts, I believe, for all of us. Are you going to autograph it? Sure. But this book is really good. I'm just so curious. Beautiful. No, I'm curious as to even the quality. How was it? You know, because it's difficult. Businesses in this country, you know, you can write all the nice things, then a printer will just decide that it's not your day.
Yeah. So is more religious, and this is not religious at all.
Yeah, so it means any woman can read it, or any man as well.
Yes, I have had a lot of men read it, and they really...
I'll just quickly take the last comment because I think we're running out of time. The definition of a complete woman is that she must be honest, faithful, compassionate, loving, industrious, and of an unquestionable integrity. Wow, all in one woman. The ideal woman is embodiment of kindness and a bridge to the upliftment of upcoming potential icons. That I agree with. The slap incident is just a manual reset. Gotta sneak that one in there.
But how do you, let me hear
person agrees with
I'm not too familiar, so I was listening to you because I heard about it yesterday. I get more information from listening to you talking earlier. I think I need to digest everything that happened.
So if I walked up to you now and I provoked you, will you get up and slap me?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I don't support physical violence in any way. I wouldn't.
Way, yes.
So it takes restraint. I must say because it depends on the level of provocation. It also depends on what the past history between them might be. But we would all like to think we're better people. So I think it's easier said than done.
Somebody has actually confronted me like that at a function. She was all over talking. I was calm and I was looking at her. In fact, at the end of the day, the ladies, I think the ushers, they were the one begging me, "Ma, please, sorry, ma." Yeah, because I don't think I would, no matter how much you provoke me, I'm that good.
Yeah,
I have other ways to deal with you.
Exactly, especially when these things don't go out of the internet. So it's going to be here forever. So it's not something that
I believe in the power of silence.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand it, but you are more powerful when you're calm.
Yeah.
Sure.
But thank you so much, Bina. I think we had a fantastic conversation.
At Robin Heights.
So don't blame people when they expect a lot from you. Just try to do your bit. We'll see you guys live on Monday at 8 p.m. Also bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on Plus TV Africa, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408 or send an email to marketing@PlusTvAfrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Businesses in Africa can be very challenging. In Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating, and successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries. Hear success stories to help you make informed decisions as you scale your business in Nigeria. Watch Business Insights at this time on Plus TV Africa.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them. If you no talk, then go beat you. Now 2,500 they pay.
is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the barbing, I pay my rent. On the barbing, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and the heat of the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
I will do everything to take Lagos out of the national grid.
On the breakfast this morning, barely 3 weeks after President Buhari signed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law, a federal high court sitting in Umuahia, Abia State, has nullified Section 84, subsection 12 of the Act. We look at the implications of this on the program this morning. In Niger State, reports have it that bandits have taken over 12 local government areas. What is going on in Niger State and what are the security implications for Nigeria's north? We'll talk about this with an expert. Also, the latest headlines from the front pages of the national dailies, these and more ahead on The Breakfast. A very good morning to you. Welcome to The Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. My name is Kofi Bartels, and of course, alongside Mercy Boko, it's a fantastic brand new week. Right, begin with the visit of former Nigerian footballers to presidential aspirant and former governor of Lagos State. I'm talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A lot has been said about this on social media. And of course, with the 2023 elections around the corner, a lot of visits are being paid by different interest groups to aspirants and those who would like to be president of Nigeria. These aspirants have also paid different visits to, traditional rulers, leaders of thought, and opinion leaders in various communities, governments and political governors and political leaders across the country. And so it was a bit of a surprise and a shocker to a lot of tape and see what transpired.
It's incredible that we hide him under your brow. We speak to the four corners of this nation. I command them to be arrested. That they have made Bola Tinubu movement.
He was looking for money to start the Kanu Heart Foundation. It was Bola Ahmed Tinubu who gave him money to start. That he went knocking on doors. He went asking for support from various people. He didn't get that support. And the person who was able to support hungry. Taribo West is hungry. Nwankwo Kanu is hungry. Victor Ipeba is hungry. Peter Rufai is hungry. And you saw Taribo West there praying because he's a pastor. After he retired, he went into ministry. Even whilst he was still playing, he had a church in Milan, is what I'm told. So that was Taribo West praying, some fire prayers for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And so some Nigerians have said, these guys are hungry, and that's why they went. You can see Taribo West praying. some fire prayers right there. He is a firebrand minister. You know, he has churches in Milan and other parts. And, you know, so people are saying he's hungry. I wish we could listen to what Kanu said. But, you know, some people said these guys are hungry. Now, do you believe that Kanu Nwankwo is hungry? Do you believe Ikpeba is hungry? Do you believe Austin Jeje Kocha went to see Tinubu so he could get money? Do you believe Taribo West went to see Tinubu so that he could get some money? These are the questions we have to answer. I believe we'll be able to listen to the response of Kanu Nwankwo to the social media comments in a bit. And if that is okay, I'm told we don't have. But Tinubu, this is what one commentator said on social media. Tinubu really knows how to play his card and how to fish the elites to be on his side. But things like this shouldn't bother you if you have a mind of your own. That Kanu and Okocha are endorsing someone doesn't mean you have to do the same. These guys have nothing to lose, unlike you, is what one person said. Another person said former Super Eagles players paid Tinubu a visit and gave him their endorsement for 2023. Kanu, Okocha, etc. They were present. They also endorsed Yaya Bello late last year, if you remember. Even Mr. Tinubu is surprised at the vigor of the prayers from Taribo West. Do you believe that he is surprised? My, oh my. Someone quotes Kanu was saying without Tinubu there will be no Kanu Health Foundation, etc. But the thing is this. Kanu has put out a video online, a comment online, where he said that, first of all, that Nigerians should not comment on what they don't know about. You know, that what they went there to do was to simply pay a visit to. It had nothing to do with his political aspirations. You know, that they all have their different political parties. And Kanu, in that video, he recorded it, you know, in his car. He said Nigerians should go vote for whoever they want to vote for. And he also said that you have to get your permanent voter's card. And he said this time, vote for the right person, is what he said. This time, vote for the right person. So it turns out that people have been getting this whole thing wrong. We just saw pictures of former footballers sitting down with Bola Tinubu and then concluded that they went to endorse him. We saw a video of Taribo West praying for Tinubu and concluded that they went to endorse him because they are hungry. Listen to me, people. These guys are not hungry. JJ Okocha is not hungry. I don't know how much Tinubu will give to Okocha for him to sit down and endorse him. You know, Kanu Nwankwo is not hungry. Victor Ikpeba is not hungry. You know, Peter Rufai is certainly not hungry. These guys have endorsement deals worth millions of naira. They have assets worth millions of naira. I do not know if, like someone was saying on Twitter, if Taribo West frittered away the money he made with the likes of AC Milan, the likes of Inter Milan, the likes of Derby County in the English Premier League. I don't know if the money is finished. I doubt it is. So you can't be poor and be setting up a church in Milan, you know. Let a novelty match in his honor. I think that is okay, and we shouldn't read more into that than meets the eye. It's still a trending segment on The Breakfast. Let's move to another one. Not a few persons have said they want to leave the country. Some people have said, you know what, they'll stay put in Nigeria for now to see who wins the 2023 elections. And if somebody whose head is not correct, according to what people say, some people are saying wins the 2023 elections, they'll vamoose. Well, one of such people, one person rather, who is saying that if a certain person wins the election and leave the country, surprisingly, is the chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Bode George. He is also the former chairman of the Nigerian Ports Authority. Now, he was speaking at a press briefing, and he says, guess what? I will leave Nigeria. He said, and I quote, at that press briefing, I'm happy the president has signed the new electoral bill. If by whatever chance he gets to the villa, that's talking about Tinubu, I won't be part of this country. I'm not joking. I can go to Ghana and be watching with binoculars from afar. You will see what will happen. He went on to say, quote, and I'm quoting him now, this is Alpha Beta in Lagos. He will create some Alpha or Alta Beta somewhere to carry your money. His wife will now be Senate President. His son will be Governor of Lagos. His daughter will be Iyaloja of Nigeria. What has he done to prove that he deserves to be honored by anybody in this country, is what Bode George is saying. Of course, the relationship between both of them is well documented, and it's also known that there is no love lost between both persons, both politicians, you know. So this is what Bode George has been saying. Of course, the reactions coming online to this particular statement by Bode George, some people say, you know what, are you a part of the problem? Why are you running to? Your party was in power for 16 years, so why are you saying you run away? And the supporters of Tinubu have also not taken this lightly with the accusations coming from Bode George regarding a trending story this time, something that seems a bit bizarre to not a few Nigerians, the donation of security vehicles to Niger. Niger is a country to the north of Nigeria. Now, who donated the security vehicles? The government of the country. And this time, we're talking about Zamfara State. The Zamfara State governor has donated 5 new Hilux cars, Hilux pickup trucks to the government of Niger Republic for special security border patrol. This was contained in a statement issued in Gusau on Saturday and signed by the press secretary to the governor, Bello Matawale. The embattled governor, Bello Matawale, he is Jamilu Birnin Magaji. Now, according to the press secretary to the governor, that's Birnin Magaji, he says the donation was made in fulfillment of Governor Matawale's promise to provide Niger with patrol cars and other security logistics in the fight against banditry. And you know, if you've been following our discussions right here on Plus TV Africa, that Zamfara State is one of the states affected by insecurity in the country. And of course, the border between Nigeria and Niger, the border between Nigeria and Chad, the border between Nigeria and northern Nigeria, that is, and Cameroon, is quite porous and has been used by either bandits or terrorists. We're talking about Boko Haram. We're talking about the Islamic State in West Africa province, ISWAP. So this is sort of a surprise, but not a surprise, because Zamfara State has been under attack by bandits and terrorists. The vehicles, according to the governor, will be used for border patrol. And of course, we're looking at places like Maradi and other sections of the Niger Republic that shares a border with Zamfara State. Niger Republic doesn't only share a border with Zamfara State, it also shares a border with Katsina State, where the president is from, which has also been a recipient of several bandits attacks in recent times. And it also shares a border with Sokoto State. So these are 3 states in another country, and you've had these comments coming online. The part of Niger Republic that received this donation is called Maradi region in Niger Republic. So the governor of Maradi region is the one who is receiving these cars. And of course, you have opinions going both ways. But personally, my submission is, you know what? Nigeria is also a recipient of international assistance. Nigeria is a recipient of international donations. Over the years, it's been coming. It's still ongoing as we speak. If a governor feels that he can secure his state better by donating to a neighboring state.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Booking November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Welcome to your favorite program, The Moment of Truth, brought to you by the Citadel Global Community Church. Our God is a God of salvation, far above all principality and power, and might and dominion, that regardless of what happens in this season, you will escape. Say to your neighbor, there is no peace for the wicked. The lazy man does not roast what he took in hunting, but diligence is a man's precious possession. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Moment of Truth with Pastor Tunde Bakare, Sundays, 7 p.m. on Plus TV Africa.
In raising our kids, parents should stop playing God.
The internet is actually using the people.
But when you are looking for money to help other people, then it becomes easy.
Don't rush into marriage. I always say this. You rush in, you rush out.
Family is the bedrock of every society and the essence of life.
On Today with John and Helen, we dig deep into family values in every sense of the word.
Join us every Saturday at 9:15 a.m. on Plus TV Africa, DSTV channel 408.
With you, we play a part in strengthening the values passed from generation to generation.
Tenancy agreement. So in a case that the landlord wants to evict the tenant, in a case there's no tenancy agreement, what happens in court?
Well, usually what the court will do, or what is expected of the landlord in that situation, is to look at the mode of payment. Number one, it is established, there is no controversy as to the fact that the tenant is a tenant of the landlord, whether or not there is a written tenancy agreement. The fact that there is possession, the tenant is in possession of the premises, and he has made some form of payment, which is rent, to the landlord for the use of the premises, that would create a relationship, a tenancy relationship between the landlord and the tenant.
Space and style. 6:30
is how to filter through the noise and identify what they do.
It's still the breakfast on Plus TV Africa. I am Messi Bokpo, and many thanks for joining us this beautiful morning. We head straight to the papers. As always, we have on Mondays with Opunabo Nkataria. It's good to have you join us. Opunabo Nkataria is a public affairs analyst. Good morning.
Good morning, Messi. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Kofi.
Good morning to you, sir.
Let's take a look at the Punch newspaper this morning and find out what the Punch is reporting. The banner caption says, APC convention. Talking about that convention that's slated for the 26th of March. Southwest governors reject Buhari's allies as secretary and vice chair. That's boldly written on the Punch this morning. It says, external forces trying to impose persons on Southwest, says Akeredolu. Adamu Al-Makura Musa divided as National Assembly over chairmanship race. It's still the rider underneath the bold caption. Now, federal government incurs fresh 950 billion. That's what you also find this morning. Just before we move away from the Punch, Buhari aloof away well Nigeria bonds, economy crushing. That's what the PDP is quoted to say. Over 70% of drugs dispensed in Nigeria substandard. Farmers and herders clash. Afenifere faults planned law to make non-native indigents. And you also find Obiano's water drinking video. EFCC on witch hunt alleges Abgar. These are some of the headlines you find on the Punch this morning.
Let's move straight to the Nation with these headlines. APC convention. Southwest picks Keke Meke or Mishere. With the following writers, Akeredolu warns against interference. Aspirants screening failed to hold yesterday, and senators splits on Musa Adamu Al-Makura. Interesting times in the party. At the top of that front page, you have these headlines. Unions to cripple Vasties. Nuts as NAAT begins strike. Sanu Nasu warm-up. That's the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union. What does the future hold for our academic system? More from the Nation newspaper. Buhari, federal government reviewing Southeast security. Obiozo's house attack flayed Balti football match.